Ladies and gentlemen, happiness doesn't come from having it all. In fact, it often arises when we let go of the idea that we must possess everything to find peace. When we focus on the external, we overlook what lies within us. True happiness is not something you can collect or acquire. It is a state of being, a state of presence that emerges from the present moment. Happiness is often seen as something to be achieved or attained, usually through external possessions or accomplishments. Society promotes the idea that happiness comes from having the perfect job, a luxurious lifestyle, or social status. However, the true source of happiness lies not in accumulating material things or reaching specific goals, but in embracing the present moment and appreciating what we already have. We tend to believe that happiness will come once we achieve something significant, but this belief sets us up for a constant chase, leaving us always looking for the next big thing. The constant pursuit of more can create a cycle of discontent. We become so focused on what we don't have yet that we fail to recognize the wealth of experiences and blessings already present in our lives. This chase for external validation and possessions often leads to a sense of emptiness because happiness doesn't reside in what we own or what we accomplish. It exists in how we relate to the world around us. When we continuously measure our happiness by what we lack, we are caught in a never-ending cycle that prevents us from fully enjoying the richness of the present. When we let go of the need to have it all, we begin to find peace in the simplicity of life. The smallest moments, like a quiet morning, a conversation with a loved one, or a peaceful walk, can bring immense joy if we are truly present. The recognition that happiness does not come from the accumulation of things shifts our focus. We begin to realize that our well-being is rooted in our ability to be content with the present and not in our ability to accumulate more. By focusing on internal fulfillment rather than external achievements, we open ourselves to a deeper, more lasting sense of happiness. The idea that happiness comes from external accomplishments often creates an illusion that we are incomplete without achieving more. We are conditioned to think that happiness is something to attain through success, wealth, or recognition. However, this mindset overlooks the fact that fulfillment comes not from what we possess or achieve, but from our internal state of being. We place our happiness on a pedestal, waiting for the right job, relationship, or material possession to arrive before we can feel complete. But when these external sources fail to deliver lasting satisfaction, we find ourselves right back where we started, still searching for more. This constant search for external validation can lead to frustration and disappointment. When we tie our happiness to specific outcomes, we are setting ourselves up for perpetual dissatisfaction. Even when we achieve our goals, the satisfaction is often short-lived. The new promotion, the perfect home, or the dream vacation may bring temporary joy, but soon enough we find ourselves desiring the next achievement. This cycle of seeking happiness from external sources makes it difficult to experience true contentment because we are constantly looking for something outside ourselves to fulfill us. True happiness arises when we understand that it is not dependent on the things we acquire or the milestones we reach. Instead, it is rooted in our ability to embrace the present moment and cultivate a sense of inner peace. When we stop defining our happiness by external achievements, we begin to realize that we are already whole. The key is not to wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances, but to find contentment in the here and now. The real fulfillment comes from within, from our ability to be present, mindful, and grateful for what we have, regardless of our external circumstances. Often we find ourselves waiting for happiness to arrive in the future, believing that once we reach a particular goal, we will finally be at peace. Whether it's achieving success in our careers, reaching a financial milestone, or finding the perfect relationship, we put our happiness on hold, assuming that these future events will bring us the fulfillment we seek. However, this mindset traps us in a cycle of always striving for something outside of the present moment, never fully engaging with the life we are living right now. The future, by its very nature, is uncertain and elusive, and by pinning our happiness on it, we miss the opportunity to experience joy in the present. This future-focused thinking often keeps us in a state of dissatisfaction as we postpone our happiness until the perfect moment. But the truth is, the perfect moment never arrives, because life is constantly changing and evolving. What we desire today may not be the same thing we want tomorrow. As we chase future goals, we often overlook the richness of the present moment, where true contentment lies. When we place our focus on the future, we are disconnected from the life we are currently living. Happiness is not a destination to be reached, but a quality of awareness we bring to our present experiences. Living with this future-focused mentality also creates unnecessary pressure and stress. We can become fixated on what we don't yet have, which leads to anxiety and dissatisfaction. Instead of enjoying the journey, we are preoccupied with the outcome. When we learn to embrace the present and let go of the need for future achievements to define our happiness, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of well-being. It is in the now, in fully experiencing the present, that we find lasting peace and happiness, free from the anxiety of what might come tomorrow. When we constantly chase after external achievements and possessions, we risk overlooking the importance of the present moment. Happiness cannot be found in the things we accumulate or the milestones we achieve. Instead, it is found in the way we engage with the world around us right now. The external world, with its endless demands and distractions, often pulls our attention away from the present. We become so consumed by what is yet to come that we forget to enjoy the simple moments of life. Happiness, however, is not something to be chased, it is something to be experienced in the here and now. The present moment offers a unique opportunity to connect with ourselves and the world in a way that the future never can. When we are fully engaged in the present, whether it's a conversation with a loved one, a walk in nature, or simply enjoying a quiet moment, we tap into a deep sense of fulfillment that external achievements cannot provide. Yet we often find ourselves distracted by thoughts of the past or worries about the future, preventing us from truly living in the moment. This disconnect from the present is a major barrier to happiness. When we learn to let go of this constant striving and focus our attention on what is happening right now, we discover that happiness is always available to us. The key to finding happiness lies in our ability to practice mindfulness and embrace the present moment without judgment or expectation. When we let go of the need for constant achievement and begin to appreciate the small moments, we can experience a deeper, more lasting sense of contentment. Life is not just about reaching the next goal or acquiring more things, it is about experiencing and fully living each moment as it unfolds. By grounding ourselves in the present, we unlock the true potential for happiness that is always available to us. The idea that happiness comes from external achievements often creates a constant cycle of dissatisfaction. When we base our happiness on what we achieve or acquire, we are setting ourselves up for temporary fulfillment that fades over time. External accomplishments, like gaining a promotion or buying a new car, may bring a short burst of happiness, but this joy is often fleeting. Once the excitement of reaching a new milestone fades, we are left wanting more. This cycle of striving for the next thing keeps us in a state of longing rather than true contentment. The constant pursuit of external success leaves little room for the inner peace that can only be found when we let go of the need to constantly achieve. This external dependence for happiness also places us at the mercy of circumstances beyond our control. When our happiness relies on things like success, material possessions, or the approval of others, we are subject to fluctuations. These external factors are unpredictable, and placing our well-being in their hands creates instability. If we achieve what we desire, we may feel happiness, but if we fall short, the opposite happens. In this way, we become prisoners to our own desires, constantly chasing after something that we believe will bring us joy, only to find that it is never enough. This creates a cycle of stress and dissatisfaction, as we continuously measure our happiness by what we have or have not attained. True happiness, however, comes from within. It is not something that can be obtained through external means, but through cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment. When we shift our focus away from what we lack and instead appreciate what we already have, we begin to experience happiness in a more profound and lasting way. By letting go of the need to constantly pursue external success, we free ourselves from the cycle of perpetual dissatisfaction and open ourselves to the joy that comes from simply being content with the present moment. True happiness arises when we shift our focus from external goals and material possessions to the inner peace that comes from being present. The constant chase for more, whether it's success, wealth, or recognition, can create a feeling of emptiness, as we are always looking ahead for the next source of joy. However, the most profound form of happiness comes from embracing the present moment and finding contentment in it. Life is not solely about the destinations we reach or the accomplishments we achieve. It is about the journey, the experiences, and the moments we live along the way. When we are fully present, we discover that happiness is not a distant goal, but a state of being that we can access at any time. Living in the present allows us to connect with the world in a way that the future cannot. When we are constantly focused on achieving something or acquiring something, we are not truly experiencing life as it unfolds. The beauty of the present moment is that it is always available to us. Whether we are enjoying a quiet moment by ourselves, spending time with others, or simply observing the world around us, we can find joy in the now. This sense of peace comes not from what we have or what we are striving for, but from our ability to be fully present, to let go of the need for external validation, and to appreciate life as it is. In embracing the present, we also free ourselves from the constant pressure of striving for future achievements. When we stop waiting for the perfect moment or the next big accomplishment to bring us happiness, we begin to experience joy in the small, everyday moments. It is in these moments of presence and mindfulness that true happiness resides. By learning to focus on what is here and now, we find that happiness is not something we have to work hard to obtain, but something we can experience in every moment of our lives.